Okay, NFL draft. Now, I know you as a guy that loves the NFL and loves the NBA. I'm a draft nerd.
Yeah.
Have been forever. Are you a draft nerd?
I'm not so much of a draft nerd. I like it. I didn't like the draft when I was covering an individual team. When I was in Kansas City and then Houston, the draft became monotonous because you're just talking about one team.
Yeah.
They're sitting at 25. What are they going to do for a month? When you can do it from 3,000 feet and talk about, the interesting players and the potential trades, I like it. The one thing I don't like is there is a common misconception about the draft that we're going to hear today about the quarterbacks, Watson, Trubisky, or Mahomes. You're going to hear, well, I wouldn't draft them in the top 5. But if they're available at 20, it's a good pick. That player does not exist. If you look at every quarterback in the league, every single one of them, either, now that we know what they are, would have been the number 1, 2, 3 pick of their draft, or not worth a first-round pick. There is no such thing as a quarterback who 10 years into his career, you look at him and say, wouldn't have been worth the 3rd pick, but a great pick at 23. And conversely, no one that you look at and say, he was a bad pick or a good pick at 23, but not worth the 3rd pick. So you look at the drafts, and what we know is this. If you're the Browns, and you are comfortable taking a quarterback at 12, you should take that quarterback at 1.
Yeah, see, that's what analytics people feel is exactly what you're saying is if he's a franchise guy,
then he's better. Then he's more valuable than every player in the draft
combined,
except for quarterbacks who are better than him. And the Browns have made this mistake 3 times in 10 years. 3 times they have had an early first-round pick, not taken a quarterback, and then a later first-round pick and taken a quarterback. They didn't take a quarterback number 1, but then they took Brady Quinn in the same draft. Then they took Trent Richardson number 3, and then with their first-round pick, they took Brandon Weeden. They didn't take a quarterback number 8. They took Justin Gilbert, and then with their other first-round pick, they took Johnny Manziel. They would have never taken those guys in the top 3. If you're not willing to take them in the top 3, you should not take them in the first round because they are not worth it. We will look back on this draft as we do every draft. There'll be 1 or 2 quarterbacks that stand out from it, and if you could redraft, those 2 guys would go 1 and 2. The greatest draft ever, maybe 2011 draft. J.J. Watt is in it. Julio Jones, Alden Smith, who fell off, but Von Miller. You had really 6 Hall of Famers in the top 12. 8, 10, and 12 picks were Gabbert, Ponder, and Locker. Those guys would have never, they weren't valued at 12. They wouldn't have been valued at 112. The number 1 pick, Cam Newton, even with J.J. Watt in the draft, even with Von Miller in the draft, if you could go back and do it again.
Oh, you did get Cam.
Cam is the number 1 pick. So it's just people are going to say, oh, good value on Patrick Mahomes at 22. There is no such thing as good value. Either he is at that position, he's worth the first pick, or he's not worth the number 1 or first round pick.
Okay, so Russell Westbrook's season is done. Mm-hmm. And for the record, though I'm critical, with now Russ, Harden, LeBron, and the Warriors waiting, I can live for the next 4 days watching football and not the NBA. Even though those series will go 6 and 7 and be far more dramatic, it's a star league. I am not going to lie. I'm drawn to Westbrook and Harden, the debate, LeBron, the Warriors. So now what are we going to do with Westbrook next year?
Well, so this is what I find interesting. Russ is going to win the MVP.
Next year?
No, this year.
Yeah,
He's going to win the MVP.
Okay.
There's a website in Houston called the Dream Shake that has compiled 63 of the 100 ballots. Like, we already know Westbrook's going to win it. LeBron's going to once again finish 4th. He's going to finish behind Kawhi for the 2nd straight year, but whatever. We'll deal with that when the votes come out. Russ is going to win the MVP because he averaged a triple-double, and he's going to win it resoundingly. I just want to know the people that voted for Russ, what are you going to do next year when he averages a triple-double again and they're a 45-win team again? Because I think a lot of people are going to feel really silly when Russ has the same year next year as he did this year, and instead of winning the MVP, he finishes 7th. Because that's what we are going to see. I understand this is a lot of prognostication. There is no reason to believe Russ won't average a triple-double, and there is no reason to believe with their salary cap situation, the Thunder are going to be dramatically better. It's going to be the same type of thing. And what the point that I'm making is the novelty of this achievement overshadowed what were more impressive achievements.
Thank you.
And the point that Russ has no help, and I did a live stream today from my apartment. Literally over my shoulder was a painting of Russell Westbrook. I love the guy. Like, I'm not doing our good friend Chris Broussard's thing. I like him, and now I'm going to crush him. You know I love Russ.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, hey, he has no help. He has no help. Before this year began, did people actually believe Houston had a better roster than Oklahoma City? Before this year started, people would say, okay, they're starting centers. I'll take Steven Adams over Clint Capella. Okay, their second best player. I'll take Victor Oladipo over Ryan Anderson. Their sixth man. Would I rather have Enes Kanter or Eric Gordon? That's probably a toss-up. Like, going into the year, but most people thought both the Rockets and Thunder had a star and average supporting cast.
They were like 6-seed teams.
Exactly right. And one guy propelled his team to where they will compete. If you were to tell me right now, the Cavs and the Warriors, they're not winning the title, who wins?
Oh, no. For me, it's Houston.
Absolutely
I'm
right.
in on Houston. I'll tell you something. I flipped. You know, I always laugh when people in sports fans are loony. You would never once, if you were getting on a plane and a pilot had a flight plan, which they all do, and the pilot said, listen, there are major storms 40 miles out, you would want him to suggest an alternative route. Mm-hmm. We want our pilot, our surgeon, our teachers, our bus drivers for our children to get new information, our stockbrokers. But in sports, if you say something, well, you said that. I didn't like Harden.
You are allowed to believe something on Monday, get new information on Tuesday, and use that information to have a further belief on Wednesday. In fact, the smartest people, they allow new information to shape their beliefs. The idea that you have to, because when I first started with you, you were not a Harden guy. You then got a season's worth of information.
At a new position,
with a new coach and new teammates.
And
you're
I love him. I love
right.
him.
But that is the way things should work.
Of course.
Your belief systems should evolve as long as the information is continually evolving. I don't think someone's position on the Civil War should change because the facts are in. But something that's a living, breathing mechanism, you should always have evolving positions on it. Once upon a time, I really liked the Warriors. Now I do not really like the Warriors. I have gotten new information, new data to adjust my opinion on it. No, I think that's the way you're supposed to do things.
So I watched the Celtics last night, and my takeaway is, especially in 2017 with a 3-ball revolution, they're a 4-cylinder in a V8 league. And they don't
even have the nitrous to kick in every once in a while. They're just going to stay the same.
I understand if you're from Worcester and you love them. This team just has no second gear, right?
No, they don't. And the reason they don't, and Isaiah Thomas is an excellent player.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the 18 best basketball players alive. But there's a reason that guys his size are not stars in this league. This is a league where bigger, stronger, faster matters more than any other league. I was talking to a guy this morning. We were talking about LeBron versus Michael. And I was like, well, LeBron's better at this and that. And one of the things I said was rebounding. And the guy kind of threw it. He's like, yeah, well, of course LeBron's a better rebounder, but that's because he's bigger and stronger. Jordan couldn't control that. And I stopped him. I'm like, you're right, he couldn't control it, but you're wrong to not give the guy credit for it. Like, this is a league where how big you are matters, how strong you are matters. And when your best player's 5'9", you are going to have trouble in the postseason. Period, point blank. There is a reason why Isaiah Thomas is thought of in more glowing terms than his stats would dictate, because he's the only tiny guy to be the best player on a championship team.
Yeah.
People look at Steph Curry as tiny. He's not Isaiah Thomas. When I said Isaiah Thomas, I realized same name. I meant Pistons Isaiah Thomas. People give him extra credit because he led a team as a little guy to a championship. This Isaiah Thomas he's not going to be able to do it. This is why the Celtics, and we've gone over this, that not adding a player like Paul George or Jimmy Butler to where this Isaiah Thomas is your second best player. If he's your second best player,
you have a chance.
You have a chance. If he's your best player, you can have a really good regular season, and then come the playoffs. Like, I almost hope they make the conference finals just because it'll be fun to see what LeBron did to Derrick Rose, him do that on steroids to Isaiah Thomas. Like, okay, it's a nice game. In the fourth quarter, I'm going to guard you, and you're going to shoot 12%.
Nick Wright is joining us. His Twitter account is at @GetNickWright. So tonight, we have your NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
We have some NBA playoffs. Don't we have like an NBA TV? Like, how bad is it?
No, there's 2 games.
Oh, what are they?
So the big game is Grizzlies Spurs.
Okay, I'll watch that.
So that's a game that there's
I'll watch it on my third TV.
what are you going to have on your second TV? You're going to have 2 drafts up?
Yeah, I'll have.
It's the same data.
No. I'll have ESPN and the NFL Network both on the draft.
Why both? Why, you think there's going to there's just the hot takes? You're going to have them like coming in surround sound?
No.
I don't. Okay, no, I'm not judging you. Listen, I'm not judging you. You can have whatever on you. You can put on whatever you want. I mean, it's an odd choice, but that's fine.
And then I'd have Spurs Grizz on the other channel.
And the other one is Raptors Bucks.
Not
That's
interested.
the early.
Not interested.
Giannis is fun, man.
Not that. You know, we have a freak in the league. It's called LeBron. When are you going to come to terms with that?
Oh yeah, when am I going to come to terms with that?
Yeah, are you going to do a Broussard on me?
So no, I'm not.
I love the guy.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick, and then I'll leave you alone. When LeBron, if you had to bet, say a name. If you had to bet on a name, when LeBron James is done being the best player in the league.
Yeah, I thought about this before. Who's next?
Who's next? Because that, by the way, if you
there
wanna
is
use,
no guarantee, Nick. By the way, Jordan left, and the league sat there for 6 years.
right.
They couldn't find the next Michael.
And
golf, we're waiting for the next Tiger.
And if you look at the names, I did this the other night because I know life. Guys who have held the championship belt, best player in the world belt. It's only 13 names in league history. It's Wilt, Russell, and Oscar in their era. Then it's Kareem for a long time. Dr. J briefly. Then Moses Malone. Then Larry and Magic alternated it. Then Michael. Michael's first sabbatical, Akeem. Then Michael again. Then when Michael walked away,
Kobe.
It was Shaq. Then Duncan. You can argue Kobe. I wouldn't. I would say Duncan handed it to LeBron. If you want to throw Kobe in between Duncan and LeBron, fine. At most, it's 14 guys. The next guy to hold that belt will be who? I think it's Giannis.
Oh,
I think it's Giannis because LeBron's going to do it for another 3 years.
you can't. Every guy you've been able to pronounce his name.
Oh, that seems a little jingoistic, sir. I would walk that one back, Mr. Cowherd.
Okay. I just think as a brand play, Milwaukee.
It doesn't feel right. I get that, but we're in a new era, man.
I told you with Trubisky. I'm out on Trubisky because
of his name.
Montana, Elway, Cam,
Young.
Luck, Brady, Favre. Trubisky. He's in a.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound right.
It sounds what you're saying sounds absurd, but deep down I believe it.
Okay, time out. We do know there's been a study that quarterbacks are better looking.
Of course, the symmetrical face.
Why?
Yeah.
Because at 7 years old, who gets the ball on recess?
And there's a confidence thing. You play of course. No, all that's real.
There is something. No, I'm saying I'm not denying he is, but Karl Anthony Towns, he's already doing a jerky commercial.
So you're telling me
he played it. Karl Anthony Towns to me feels like
the next big thing.
In my opinion, if you're telling me when LeBron leaves in 7 years, he will be in the league. He will be a 28-17 player.
You know what the right answer should be?
What?
If it is 7 years, LeBron James Jr. He can just hand it off to his son.
It's not going to
number one 12-year-old in the country. Don't put it past him.
Is he really the number one 12-year-old in the country?
He is.
Is that true?
It is true. It's true.
Who ranks 12-year-olds?
People nerdier than me somehow.
Yeah, the Greek freak. So, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
It can't be him because if LeBron retires in 6 years, he's 9 years in the league.
Okay, but I don't think LeBron's going to be, as much as I love LeBron.
Who is the next? Tell me this.
Yeah.
Who is the best junior in high school in America? Because that's who it is.
I don't know. The best senior was Michael Porter, but I don't know who the best junior is. I apologize.
Because that's who it is. It can't be somebody in the league now.
Of course it can. He's 22. He's 22. LeBron's going to play for another 6-7 years. He's not going to be the best player in the league in year 20. He's in year 14. I think he'll be the best player in the league year 15, 16, 17. So we're 3 years out. That's why I'm discounting Durant. That's why I'm discounting Curry. They'll be on the backside of it. I think it's Giannis. You gave me Karl Anthony Towns because he sells jerky. It's not even perky jerky. I mean, what are we doing?